That's put in one place. Double friend. Oh, folks out now, leave it now.
Wow.
Oh, that's just a little craziness. I've been doing that for 15,000 years. Actually, the first time I built that was when I was doing a film at Fox Studios with Bill Robinson, no less, Charlie Temple. And I came home, that was my feeling of what I had seen that day with Bill. And I've been doing it ever since. In fact, after Bill died, I was doing a show, believe it or not, for the Robinson family in Pasadena, and Mrs. Robinson was there, their family. She came up to me and she said, "Bob, never take that out of your act. Always do it." And I have, all these years. Many times we were told, "Oh, you have to put him in a business suit to have him tap dance." Or they would tell me that tap dancing was, that the people were shooting at their feet that made them dance. Or they would tell me, "You don't use a person in a tux that's all jazzed up. They have to be in these business suits and they have to do other things that, come on." In fact, we had a picture with my partner and I. We had a thing, and we have our head through all these puppets, and over on the side are 3 colored puppets, or black puppets, or whatever you want to call them, negro puppets. There were 3 puppets hanging over there, and they said, "Oh, we can't put that in the newspaper. You have," at that time they used to say negro, "you have negro puppets in there." I said, "Have you got a pair of scissors?" They said, "Yes." I said, "Just cut them off. Use the picture." And that's what they did. But anyway, that was really wrong, because I kept this Bill doing it. It's my impression of Bill Robinson when I was very young. But anyway, we've been here for 50 years. We have a hysterical monument thing. I call it hysterical. Today you understand why I say that instead of historical. But we've been here 50 years performing for the children of Los Angeles. We're the best held secret of this city, believe it or not. People are just becoming to find us now, and they say, "Oh, I didn't know you were here all this time." Try to get Mr. Hauser here, so he would say that, but he says we're too well known, so he doesn't want to come here, but that's okay. We don't need him. He can go on the other parts of California that are having trouble. This building was put up originally as a studio to produce the largest transparencies for the studio. The room that you will go into next was where they did all the developing of their film and whatnot. They brought it in here and washed it down. And there were tremendous transparencies that were sent to the studios. They would film with the lights on in the front. It was daytime. And then as it got to be night, they would light up the windows and they would show through the transparency as being made, everything went silhouette, and it was nighttime. They made those until Cinerama came along and widescreen and all that, and they said, "Well, we don't need any more of those. We can go out and shoot the film much cheaper by doing the film wherever they were going to have these made." And so Mr. Hall closed the building up for about 10 years. And we came down here. We wanted a building that had a high ceiling, and that had that, and had a lot that you could park right next to it, which eventually we'll, after getting our attorney, we'll get it back again. We have a carousel on that lot over there. Had been here since the 60s. And but anyway, it was ideal, and we had an urban renewal that was going to be down here. And we said, "Oh boy, we're going to be real smart. We're going to be back in Los Angeles and urban renewal and everything." We opened, and 2 weeks after we opened, they took the urban renewal off. So for 50 years, we struggled with this crazy neighborhood and all the crazy things that go down here. They had, the tunnel was across the street that had all the cars that went out to the valley, that the red cars went to the valley, Glendale, all down Hollywood Boulevard and so forth, all came out of the tunnel across the street. They finally let them put up the Union Bank, and they went down into the tunnel and made it impossible to get through, although there's enough room down there that they can make a bigger circle and still have used the terminal there at 4th and Hill. Although we have such brilliant people in our downtown that run our railway systems and so forth, they decided that was too much work to do, and they took a lot of the right-of-ways, and they spent thousands of dollars on right-of-ways and all this. They disbanded a system that was the greatest subway rail system in the world. It was here in Los Angeles. You could go any Orange Grove for 25 cents. Believe me, I did as a kid. But anyway, that downtown eventually now is going to start improving, we hope. You can go into the building that's across the street and go back to where the old town is. They have a trompe-l'oeil picture of a train coming out at you. The tunnel is still there. They're still pumping water out of it. The reason also that we were able to build here, this was a lake. This was a big lake, and it was Glendale Boulevard was called Lakeshore Drive. At the top of the hill up on Loma, where Belmont High is, they had two gorgeous, beautiful hotels at the turn of the century. They burned. They had cable cars that came out. Second and Temple that we used to go up to that. Oh boy. They had at Second and Bowdry, they had a woolen mill. I can't think of the name of the people. They had a big store downtown. They ran the woolen mill. It was a very interesting part of town here. But after the buildings burned, they tore down the cable cars, which were here before they had them in San Francisco, by the way. We were the first place that had the most amazing rail system in the world. And they jumped all the cars, they closed the lines. They said, this will be my end of my speech, they said it was the automobile that forced them to stop it. Well, it wasn't really. Mr. Huntington would not expand his lines to other properties. They went always to his property. He sold his property, then he wouldn't expand the line. At that